is not the episode that our listeners in Russia are expecting.
Hopefully.
They're not expecting this, and they're going to be very upset. But this is our final podcast episode. And the reason being, we're going to discuss just a little bit from like where we're coming from with this this idea we have to finish off the podcast. And I think for me, it has a lot to do with lack of growth. I think it's kind of hard that we're so general as a podcast, and there's so many general podcasts these days, you know? Like if you're going to start a podcast project, you have to at least be able to target some type of community or something to get your jump. And I think general podcasts do work if you're already like an established personality, maybe you have an audience already, something like that, because people want to hear your opinions on things, you know?
Sure.
But I just don't think a long form podcast is the best route for us three to be taking, even though we have a ton of fun with it. We always enjoy
100%.
it. There's definitely a core amount of people that are listening who enjoy it, which is awesome. But our idea is to go ahead and focus on different types of content, which people need to hold us accountable to, because we do tend to get a little lazy. But I think if we focus on our YouTube channel and start creating different content on there, I think we'll be a lot better served in terms of just like growing more, you know, like getting more exposure to new people who might be drawn to our personalities, to which we can maybe even further down the line, maybe continue the podcast or do whatever we want to do, you know. But that's where my head's at in terms of this whole thing.
Yeah. I feel like this platform doesn't, especially before we just very recently started posting some clips onto YouTube, but pre-YouTube and pre us being able to do this on Zoom with COVID and all that, I feel like there wasn't ever like the full opportunity for each of our personalities to shine, you know, like even just like seeing each other's facial expressions when someone says something, you know, totally psychotic. That's half the fun of my experience in the podcast, is not even what I listen to when I listen to the podcast. It's this experience right here recording with y'all. That's a lot of fun. So I would rather like dive into, you know, some of the video side of things where people can see what we see and each other's reactions to things, you know, more in person and more, a little bit more of an intimate setting than either just audio or kind of split screen, you know?
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah. It's definitely been like from where we started to where we are now, we've definitely grown from then. Like even just how we kind of go about, you know, just going into an episode. Like it's so much more easier for us to do it, and but we've definitely grown since then, since the beginning.
Damn,
yeah.
I've grown as a man since I think, like, I don't know, maybe I'm worse off. Like,
Well, we won't comment on that, right?
Like,
I was gonna say it just got so. I mean, this right here, we've gotten good at it. We've gotten good at getting on, doing it every week, but it's just kind of comfortable now. And
sure.
I guess what's that saying? That comfort kills progression, I guess.
Never heard of that, but
I guess we just we're comfortable now, and we're hitting kind of like a plateau. So I guess now we need to try something new and get outside of our comfort zone and get comfortable with something else, and that'll just you know, step us up another level of growth, and I think that's where we need to go.
100%.
100%. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about is I'm very grateful for this podcast in several ways, personally, because it kind of taught me a lot about podcasting in general.
Yeah.
How to edit, how the distribution works, how recording works with equipment, all this kind of stuff. And it's definitely shown me that I'm passionate about it. And I would love to take that a step further with future podcast projects, whether it's my own or for other people. But this podcast has honestly just been a blast since we originally started, you know? So for me, I don't consider any of it wasted time. I think it was valuable for all of us. And then even a step further, just like forcing yourself to talk As weird as that sounds, like in
Yeah.
these long form conversations, makes you think about things like you otherwise wouldn't, you know? It
Yeah.
like forces you to kind of break down thoughts, especially with some of the topics we catch ourselves talking about.
Yeah.
Therapeutic. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
That's
I
what I
feel
was
like
gonna say is
that,
or, sorry,
and
go
I,
ahead.
that, and I feel like it just gets you, I feel like I've progressed in my communication as a whole. And this probably has a lot to do with that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
all
I was
I had
going to
to say.
say. That's what I was going to say is I feel like for me, it's beyond even, I mean, again, it's been like such a great outlet. It's been super fun. And kind of, you spoke to this a little bit, Arthur, but I don't even see it as like, this is ending. We got to figure out something else. I almost just see like this morphing into the next, like whatever we do next is still us three. It's still the tilcast, even if it's not a cast, whether it's broadcast or whatever, you know? And so to me, it's just the evolution of the tilcast, not necessarily the ending of it. But like you said about communication, I feel like that's been one of the funnest things for me is learning to communicate in different environments. Like I've done 60 kid taekwondo classes, and I've done single person one-on-one training. I've done, you know, church events, I've done concerts, I've done, you know, like all these different kind of ways of communicating. And then being on camera, being in front of a mic is just a different experience, even in like singing in public. It's just a different experience trying to communicate points of views or jokes or whatever it is. And so I'm grateful for the growth that I feel like I've seen in my ability to communicate even the stupid things that I'm wanting to say. Like it's really, I don't know, kind of open myself, which, and again, like you said, I'm excited to take that into whatever I do next, whether, like you said, whether it's my own podcast, whether it's back into this after some amount of time and just really, you know, growing off of what we've done.
Definitely. I like how you said that it's more of a progression, a morphing into something else. Cause I don't think, I definitely like the chemistry that us three have kind of built. And
Which
I
is
just
what's
think
so unique. Like that doesn't happen with three in-laws, like three different families, three different guys, all, you know, that get along. Like that doesn't happen very often.
and no, I'm so glad I don't hate both of you, but
most days, you know, yeah,
most days after a drink.
I just think we're transitioning into what will better serve us at the end of the day. So I'm excited to kind of experiment with some YouTube content, and then if that doesn't work out, I mean, I will always be making some sort of content. I mean, Phil and I have a video project, hopefully coming out in a few days on the 31st.
we don't have much of a choice.
I'm going to be editing my ass off for the next couple of days. But I mean, I feel like we will always be making some sort of content. So for anyone who might be disappointed, there's definitely more content to be coming. Like we're not just cutting everything off cold turkey. I enjoy making podcast videos, anything really. So it's definitely not the end of the road.
And I'd encourage y'all to follow like 1718 on social media and stuff. Like we don't post, excuse me, we don't post a ton, you know, on the 1718 page, but that's kind of where the, you know, culmination of all of our work ends up being put. So whether it's my music, our podcast, anything else that we do content wise will be funneled through 1718 Media. So if you're not already, make sure you're following, you know, obviously follow our individual accounts and tilcast and stuff like that, but also make sure you're following 1718 because any branched projects that come out of this group will most likely be curated there.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you guys say, like, to say that you guys don't see this as a complete waste of time. You know, like I think we've all gained like a bunch from this.
100%.
I know we've all talked about it, but I've definitely felt, you know, way more confident speaking. You know, I think that was kind of like my main goal with this. I didn't think that I was ever going to become like, you know, famous off of this. I was like, man, if anything I get from this, I need to be more, I need to become a better speaker. And I think that I have become, you know,
happening. I don't know if y'all can still hear me or not.
I hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you interrupting me. I'm just kidding, man.
Sorry, Zoom just like, y'all still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, Zoom just like crashed on me. Did anything happen for y'all?
Nah.
It just like switched my sound. Is my sound good? It like switched it to something else.
It's still a microphone.
No reason.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
It said it changed my speaker to the microphone and then crashed Zoom. But okay, I guess we're back. We're still recording. Let's go.
all
I love
good.
what you said, John, about I'm just kidding. I missed the last
What
few
was I
phrases.
saying? All right, oh, yeah.
Not a waste of time.
Not a waste of time. We've all gained something from this.
100%.
I'm glad to see you guys want to take it even further, and I'm glad to do way more with you guys on this. It's definitely put me out there where like content, that's just the content is king, and I kind of see that like in my kind of niche area. I just took a pretty long test for engineers, and I there's not a lot of content for that. And I'm like, hey, I can just bust open that door and kick the doors down, get all in there, and I could be the first one there. And I'm like, man, I never would have thought that if I didn't do this. I never would have, been the person to do that if I didn't do this. So I mean, this has been great.
And more than anything, like I see it too. This is what's super exciting for me is like the diverting of resource and energy. Where it's like, it's almost like pruning a tree, right? Where it's like sometimes you got to cut off some branches to make sure other branches have more life, to make sure this thing really functions the way you want it to. And I feel like that's kind of like what I see this as a little bit as well. I've had to do that in my business with clients, with times and stuff like that, where it's like sometimes like I want to do, I'm the kind of person where like, I wouldn't even say like I'm serial entrepreneur or something, but like I have a million ideas. Arthur knows this because I come to Arthur every week with like a new idea that I just don't act on. And so I have 100 ideas, but sometimes when you put just a little bit of focus in 100 places, like you don't really give life to any of those things. And so I'm excited to like, I think there's some things we can do really well. And so being able to pull back from one place, again, maybe not even permanently, but pull back from one thing and put some of that energy and resource into something where we feel like there might be more growth and value, to me is really exciting. Like I said, it's like the evolution of this nothing's really ending, nothing's really capping. It's really just moving forward in something where I think we'll get a little bit more value and more growth and more potential. So that's again, like no wasted time, because it all leads us to now we happen to be doing video. We wouldn't be doing that if it weren't for COVID, if it weren't for other things. Like it's like so many things have kind of forced us into this lane. So like you said, both of you all said, like there's no wasted time. It all just kind of leads you to where you are.
I think that's the beauty of starting any project, because just naturally, when you're doing anything creative, you're going to iterate on it. You're going to come up with new ideas of how it can be better, how 100%. You can be better served, what can benefit you the most. And I think that's what we're doing here, is like realizing that a long form podcast in this case, especially as random as we are, probably not our best avenue for being rich and famous like we want to be. So
I feel like I could have carried us for a while there. So it's just like a little uncomfortable.
The tilcast.
The tilcast.
But I've been thinking that same thought in terms of other projects that I work on too. Is like the best thing you can do is just start, which we did. I mean, literally over 2 years ago, which is crazy to think about. And we're 60 episodes in, and it was a good run. I think it's time to, iterate, try something new. And I don't think we ever would have been creating YouTube content like we plan to do if we didn't start with this podcast,
Very true.
So
yeah,
it's been real.
It's very.
Do we still have original files from our first recordings?
No, we don't.
Not these. Well, actually, I think I have them all, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Bro, over the next, as we figure out kind of the next thing for us and like, kind of give this some space and, figure out what we want to do next, we should release some of the ridiculous clips from our early 20 episodes in 2017 or whatever it was, 2018.
Yeah.
Whatever. That'll be funny, dude. We talk about some shit.
That would be funny. Yeah, we have a whole 10 episodes that we just like scrapped. we were like, yo, that was a rough start. You know what I'm saying? Let's just start fresh again.
Bro, it was like our trial error, or our trial period ended for the podcast. You're like, okay, now I know I want to do this. Let's keep going forward.
And I think that's another thing is when we started this, podcasts were obviously, I mean, everyone knew what a podcast was, but it didn't have the same like impact that it does now, where it's like everyone's starting a podcast or wanting to. So I think when we first came out of the gate, there was a lot more excitement even from like people around me about the podcast. Sure. But here we are in 2020 when it's not as exciting. and less people are sharing, less people are like interacting. And I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Like and going back to my original point, if you're going to podcast, now it's so popular and becoming so much easier that you got to come out the gate with something special or something unique, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I remember my manager, he's like, you do anything cool like outside of work? I was like, yeah, me and my brother-in-laws do a podcast. And he was like, what do you mean like a Joe Rogan kind of podcast? And I was like, what the hell? You know Joe Rogan? He's like, yeah, man, I listen to all the time. And I was like, yeah, I do a Joe Rogan kind of podcast. I was like, but it's not, it's a little better than Joe Rogan, but you can find it on like Apple. And he was like, no way. Like, I was like, he's like, you do that? And I was like, yeah, man. He was like on Apple? And I'm like, yeah, man. Like, bro, it can be done.
It's so funny. Like, I run into the same thing with music. I'm talking to people and I'm telling them that I do music, even like clients or something like that. And they're like, oh my God, like, where are you anywhere? Like, can I find you anywhere? And I feel like the way people ask, it's like they think they're going to find me in like the newspaper or something. Like, it's the most impossible thing to like get distribution, like to even just Apple or Spotify or YouTube or something like that. They're like, you're on Apple? Like, it's like what famous people get on.
Like, right? Yeah. Like, Apple reached out to us to get us on their
honestly,
shit.
Spotify crew hit me up. They talked to my people, sent me over some distribution.
Sent over the contracts, you know what I'm saying?
And that's why I just tell them, I'm like, I'm everywhere. Like, I got them all.
But I mean,
I'm on Deezer, bro. Like,
God, I'm on Tidal. Nobody uses
I don't even know what Deezer is, but I know I'm on that shit. Like, that's how big I am.
It's true though. Like, but I feel like a lot has happened in podcasting in 2 years to really change the just change the dynamic. When we first started, I could just notice, and maybe it also has to do with like there's less excitement just because we've been doing it for so long. You know, it's not as new, not as fresh. But we did plateau. It doesn't help that we took like a long break somewhere there in the middle that kind of messed us up. So there's a lot of things, but regardless,
you're learning opportunities.
Yeah, regardless, I feel like we probably would have come to the same conclusion eventually. Yeah. And I feel like 60 solid episodes, technically 70, which is crazy. Plus a few scrapped ones, so we're more than likely around 75.
Our first two or three, we completely scrapped. We said, "Now we ain't starting yet."
He said, "Yo, we sound like shit."
Yo, why you built like that? Like we were gonna.
We need some better mics, yo.
Dude, we still have those first mics. We should post those on Instagram.
They look badass. I'll tell you that much.
Hold up, something happened to my thing real quick. Like I don't know if y'all can still hear me. It says my default speakers changed to Focusrite audio.
I feel like this is one of our original episodes, man.
I know. I was going to say, this is episode 1 right here. Going full circle.
Oh, we good? I honestly don't. I think it's my Focusrite. This thing's a piece of shit. I need a new. This solo is killing me.
It's okay. YouTube money's coming in pretty soon. So
yeah, honestly, y'all hit up our Patreon.
My computer
Focusrite.
My computer has crashed twice today, so bro, we need that money real quick, buddy.
I probably need to reset mine. This shit stays on for a while.
Yeah, just.
Oh, what was I saying though? Because it was vitally important.
Probably not. I feel like we touched the topics we needed to.
There's just one thing I want to say about us. Right. Is that this is really a mature decision that we're doing. You see a lot of people just getting stuck. Not stuck, but they're doing what they started, and then they don't want to have to deviate from that plan because of something inside of them or because of something else that somebody might think of them. And we're totally just being mature about it and saying, you know what, look, this is where we are. This is the truth about it. Like, it's not going where we want it to go. Yeah, and we're saying this is the next step we want to go to. It's going to be harder. It's going to be different, but it's going to take us to a different level. So
you got to look at like we do an episode every week. But you got to look at like time value too, right? And I have to do this with music all the time, where I just like pray that the hours that I spend on something will eventually someday be worth it. And it's like anytime you're creating content, you kind of have to look at that and be like, okay, here's an hour or an hour and a half or whatever every whatever day we end up recording on. And it's not that, and again, this is like joy aside. Again, this is the same thing with music where like, this is such a great outlet. I love the conversation. To me, it's just fun. Like it's just a fun time chatting with, friends of mine, brothers of mine. But then like when you start be like, okay, well, I still want this to be successful. I still want this to be a business. Then you have to kind of look at the time that you're putting into it. Arthur, way more than any of us, putting into time with the editing and curating some of the social media and stuff like that. It's like, okay, how much value am I putting in? Like, what's my ROI on this? Like, what am I actually getting back from this? And it's like, again, you got to kind of divert sometimes and say, okay, I'm going to get more value somewhere else. Yeah.
And you got to kind of look at it from an outer lens, because if you just stay focused on what we're doing here, it's fun. Like, we've never not enjoyed it.
I'm down to just Zoom once a week if y'all
that's what I'm saying.
want to.
But if you look if you zoom out a little bit, you have to kind of look at it from like a stranger's perspective. So at least that's what I try to do. And I just think my time, I would rather spend the time I spend editing and experimenting with social media, because I will never say that I'm good at social media. I hate it, honestly. But I would rather spend that time on projects that are both fun and more valuable.
Sure.
From just a growth and other people's enjoyment perspective,
Yeah.
So
you almost have to make it like impersonal, right? You got to kind of take yourself out of the picture and be like, okay, well, I love this and our like close friends and family love this, and be like, okay, but like where's like the real value surrounding it? And if there's a way to, put focus on something that, like you said, you still enjoy wholeheartedly, you still like you are skilled at the process or are willing to get skilled at the process and will create more value for other people and yourself, then obviously that's where your attention should go.
100%.
So what are we thinking, fellas? What's on the horizon?
Food challenges.
Yo, low key. One thing we have in common, we all love
Postmates.
Postmates. God damn it.
That's in my future.
You need to make that an ad lib, man.
I gotta put that on a song.
Oh my god! I just want to hear that in the background.
Top 5 moments of all time.
But I see us being, like literally random, whether it's food challenges or any other like creative, entertaining, and funny YouTube content that we can think of, because I think our personalities are somewhat unique in that all three of us are different. Yeah. And we already kind of built this, we're literally family. So we already have this like chemistry. Plus we've spent at least 80 hours
60, 80,
podcasting.
Yes.
So, we already have built this like chemistry, and we're used to each other and everything. And I think we can thrive in just like natural settings where we're just being ourselves, being goofy, doing challenges, whatever else we can think of. I think we can get creative with it. I haven't spent a whole lot of time brainstorming, but I advise anyone listening to this to definitely follow our YouTube channel. Obviously, we'll be posting any new thing that comes out on social media too, but any future thing in regards to the tilcast will be on YouTube. So that's a good place to just be on the lookout for.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, like the whole reason anyone would watch or listen to us is who we are, right? The fact that we have a unique perspective, being in-laws, being, all of our different personalities and stuff like that. So I think it just comes down to creating content that allows that to shine. Right. And strictly audio for now, again, until we have a bit more of a platform, just isn't the best way to do that. And so, like you said, I think the options are kind of endless as far as what kind of content we create, as long as there's the opportunity for each of us to just be ourselves and for people to see that and be gravitating towards it.
Yep. Yeah. I'm already, even like right now, I'm thinking of some good ideas.
I know. I've already put my voice out there for the people to hear. I want them to see me, my actions, my movements. I want to see fucking George Lucas to see me out there, put me in the fucking next Star Wars movie. Zoom, 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 zoom. Let's get it.
You'll be the John DeLorean over there.
John DeLorean.
By the way, I'm sipping on some heavy whiskey right now. So,
that was my next point, because Phil, you brought up a very good point in our group message before this that we started out recording these damn things on Monday nights. We are literally recording this on Monday night, the day before this comes out. And we're all sipping on our beverages, alcoholic beverages to be exact, which we kind of stopped doing, except for the early episodes. Sometimes we would do it, but early on, we would take a shot before each episode and drink during, and it was that's where we got a little weird. You know
we're like, this is a great idea. Let's just keep going.
And then we ended up talking about black holes and space travel for like goddamn 2 hours.
I swear we had one scratched episode that was just about Elon Musk. like, I swear, dude.
No, I swear we did.
For sure.
But not only that, I just realized something that I'm pretty sure we used to always use these glasses.
I have my Hufflepuff one.
Yep.
Talking about these bad boys right here.
Oh, shit, boy.
Someone stole mine.
No, I got your Hufflepuff in the cabinet.
Okay, yeah. We try to keep that in the back.
Apparently, I'm a bad guy. Apparently, George Lucas, I'm a Slytherin, all right? I'm going to be a bad guy.
If anyone's a Slytherin, it's John. I can't explain why, but just go along with it.
He's got this
I'm all right
Slytherin
with
eyes.
it.
Somehow it just makes sense.
with it.
Just makes sense.
Just makes sense.
Just makes sense.
Anyways,
it was fun. Like when we first started, though. Like for those of you who don't even know, again, like we had 10 episodes that we just scratched. Like again, like we had released them all. So we had released like a 10 episode season. We put them on Apple and all over the place. And then we're like, okay, that was a good test run. Let's take these off and kind of start ground zero and move into the next 60 that we have right now. And so it was kind of fun. Like we were at John's apartment for a while, probably for the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes, maybe. We were around their table. We had these $15 clamps off Amazon, and then we had these little like retro looking microphones that we would rubber band these little pop filters on that I think were like $30 a piece or less. Like they were super cheap. We had those setting, tons of bleed, running into like a $40 processor, like horrible quality. It was rough. Poor Arthur. He was fucked.
I will never forget how my excitement was at probably 110 out of 100. After I recorded, I was like, damn, that was actually funny. This is fucking dope. I plug it into my software. I get home, bro. I plug it into Adobe Audition. I'm like, oh, shit, let's figure out how to edit this thing.
Yo, here we go.
I listen to the files, right? So we each have our own recording, each of our microphones. I can hear John about just as clearly in Phil's mic as I can hear Phil. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, hold on a second.
Something ain't right.
It's like, yo, this ain't right. Like it picked up everything in the damn room.
Why were we sitting 2 feet from each other with condenser mics off Amazon?
Yo. To be even crazier, we were thinking about doing this on a desk and us sitting right next to each other and then having video at the same time. Like we bit off way more than we could chew.
Well,
like.
If we would have done it at that desk, we would have looked like a bad news channel.
The budget cast, bro.
Some shitty YouTube news channel.
God, without any news.
No news. So what has Elon Musk done lately? Like,
oh my god,
bro!
Man.
So we're sitting there with those crappy little retro looking like fake microphones. It's like dogs barking out the time. Like if the dogs went on a tirade, we just have to stop for 20 minutes until they settle down, jump back in. It was crazy.
It just goes to show that there's so much you probably don't think about when you're.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and this can go with anything new.
Oh yeah.
Anything new though, like if you don't, there's just so much you don't think about. Like me, I was like, any mic, as long as it's in front of my mouth, like it will be fine, right? Like, you don't really think about like the microphone bleed from all the different mics and areas and like all kinds of stuff. It's just, it was a mess.
Those are growing pains. Those are definitely those growing pains that help you grow for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, it was.
Look at us.
It was fun, man.
Look at us, man.
Crazy. Look at us. Yeah, we moved from that back to I think our apartment, right? Elizabeth nice apartment. Had that thing set up on a coffee table, same clamps, different mics.
The couch stays.
couch days. That was those were comfy days. I'll give us that.
Yeah, low-key, those might have been some of our best episodes.
Those some of our best episodes. Probably I'll need to go probably like 10 through 20 of our episodes, originally. But probably still had some rusty stuff at the beginning there, but that was fun. We brought on some other guests there when we got the table.
Dude, we
Jared and all those guys.
We were in the living room. We were at the kitchen table.
Bedroom. Like we were
literally everywhere.
Got the mics in the room. Like we call that pillow talk.
The horses in the back.
Pillow talk. Horses in the back.
Nah, man. Honestly, though,
it was fun. Though
it was fun.
Yeah, good times.
Man, people supported us monetarily. I mean, I feel like I wish I had the numbers, but
shout out, Mom, Dad.
shout out the fam. Yo, what's funny is my dad has never listened to one episode of this damn podcast. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know it exists, bro.
He's like, you guys are doing a podcast?
Like, no, son of mine.
But we
you're gonna be a doctor.
What the hell is a podcast?
A podcast? Like he's 89 or something. Like
I know my dad sounds nothing like that. But anyways, no, yeah, I don't think he really knows what a podcast is. But anyways, it's besides the point. We have family members, mostly family members, but a few strangers who did support us monetarily.
That's dope.
And I think it all added up to about near or around $500, which is kind of interesting. I mean, that covers anything we've ever spent making it, I think.
That's dope.
So that's kind of cool to think about.
Big shout out to y'all. I mean, that is really cool. Honestly, like to see even through us like trying to navigate this and figure it out, to see that people were just invested in seeing where we would go. That's pretty dope, man. I like it.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was pretty good, guys. Atta boys. That's all I gotta say. Atta boys.
Hey, y'all are amazing.
You're incredible.
You're fucking awesome.
I will miss hearing you ramble. I will.
We'll have to find a way that I can still.
Your nickname should have been the Rambler,
bro. The Rambler. Yeah, I can ramble a little bit.
Just kidding, bro. Nah, I'm just being extra.
I can ramble a bit.
Let's sprinkle in one last dose of randomness.
Shit, let's go.
How do you guys feel about? Have y'all watched any new movies? Let's start there.
I watched the second Christmas Switch recently.
Christmas Switch?
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, now you're turning into John, bringing up shit.
So, that was top 3 on Netflix. I don't want to hear about it. It's the Christmas season, bro.
Wait, hold on. Is that the one with Vanessa Hudgens?
Let's go.
You're talking about the Princess Switch or some shit.
Yeah, sure, but there's a second one.
It's called the Christmas Switch?
We'll call it the Princess Switch.
All right, well,
one of the switches, all right?
Yo, someone switched. It was a good time.
I was referring to like Wonder Woman or possibly Soul. Those are the two new releases.
I saw Soul.
Haven't seen either yet.
So I saw both. So
good talk.
0, 1, and 2.
Wonder Woman was being shit on social media, bro. Like, I mean, everyone was acting like it was low-key the worst movie ever made. Yeah. So I was like, let's see how bad this is. That's where my mindset was, and I think I was expecting it to be so bad that it was actually not very bad. So I think go into Wonder Woman expecting an average ass movie, and you're gonna be satisfied.
Adequately correct.
Yeah, don't expect it to be good. I feel like the first one was low-key a classic.
The first one is an incredible movie, so I had big expectations for the second one.
Yeah, and it wasn't that great, but it was entertaining.
Okay.
I like looking at whatever her name is, to be honest.
Vanessa Hudgens.
She's incredible.
No, that's the Christmas Switch, bro.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Got the duck.
So Wonder Woman, nobody saw that except for me.
Nah.
So we'll just leave it at that. Let's move on.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
6.
6.
Yeah.
Damn, that's your
IMDb threshold, so it's all right. It's still there.
Yeah, 60% is where I'll start watching things.
Yeah. Arthur won't watch anything. That's why I was pissed because Poseidon was like a 5.5.
Yo, Poseidon was at like a 58.3, bro. Like,
Yo, bro, and that shit won 4 Grammys. Like,
Oh, bro.
yo, that
Bro.
shit, that won like 3 Sundance awards. Like,
I'm weak, bro. It's a phenomenal movie.
Got the Nobel Prize, man.
Shit.
no, I've found, because
Nobel Prize.
I've watched a good amount of movies in my day, and that's 60 or 6 out of 10 or 60% out of 100. That's the spot where you want to be. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to watch, I think from now on, I'm going to watch movies and then look at whatever it is. What do y'all look at? Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, audience
IMDb?
score. That's the key.
Audience score, not critics.
I'm going to watch the movies, then look at those and see how it compares to what my taste is.
It's just like anything below a 6 needs a shot before you watch it. And then you're like, think it's a 6.5.
100%. That's the tilcast way.
Watched Poseidon when I was 9 and thought it was great.
Yeah, you didn't really have an eye for the bigger budgets.
For the cinematics.
Yeah.
It's up there. It's like top 17 movies.
Anyways, let's talk about Soul, new Pixar movie. I tweeted the other day that it feels like the first Pixar movie that's exclusively made for adults.
Mm.
I mean, it's visually appealing, even for kids, but I feel like the subject matter and the messaging it's not anything a kid will be able to relate to, you know?
Interesting.
And that's why I think I appreciate it for that reason. I don't think it would be very exciting, honestly, for a kid to watch. But adults who watch it will really appreciate it, probably because they can somewhat relate to it. And I just think it was visually extremely appealing. The way they portrayed New York, it's like a very good portrayal of New York City.
Nice.
And I just thought it was a really, really good movie. Plus, it's about jazz music to some extent, so that's always good.
I remember seeing the trailer for it like late last year, and I was like, because they already had a movie similar called Inside Out, which was kind of a similar concept. I thought that was a great movie. It was a well-made movie, just such a unique concept. I'd never really seen anything like that done. And so when they started playing the trailer for Soul, I was like, that's dope. I can kind of see what they're doing. They're like going through all these different like abstract things that you can experience in your emotions and your soul and all this stuff. And so I was super excited about it. So I am excited. We do have Disney Plus, which I think is the only thing it's on right now, correct? That's where people can find it.
Yep.
You can find it on Disney Plus. So I am excited to watch that because that did look really just intriguing in its concept alone, but also it looked like it was going to be well made.
It's really weird how they kind of put these visuals on these things that we go through like almost every single day. I mean, what was that movie you mentioned? Inside Out or something?
Inside
like
Out,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, like that movie was just, it blew my mind how like you can put a visual on like how you grow up, how you experience things, how you categorize those things, and how you keep them in your memories, and how they affect your life in the future. Like that was just like blew my freaking mind. And I mean, it's just like we have 5 emotions and it covered like all of them. And so even like just, I mean, that was crazy. But then this soul thing, it almost did the same thing for me. I mean, you're kind of putting a visual on, I guess, your meaning in life. I guess your purpose in life and also your meaning in life. Like that's really what it does. And like, these are like hard hitting subjects and they kind of put them in these cartoonish characters to where it's almost like a soft, introduction to these hard hitting subjects, and how Pixar does that is just, it's crazy. It's mind blowing. Like it's incredible.
Yep. It's incredible.
It's incredible. I love that.
You're in a Pixar movie right now, bro.
He just started animated. He's like, yeah, it's incredible.
No, it truly was though, bro. And I feel like they it's crazy. I was reading about it, and they started this project in 2016.
Dang.
Which is nuts. Like these movies probably take that long. And then I saw a tweet of how in Toy Story, they couldn't even figure out how to like model people that well. like in animated form. So they just cloned Andy's body, and like they wouldn't show anyone's head. I don't know if you remember, like the original Toy Story, they really didn't show like humans' head other than like Andy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because all the other humans that they showed were just the same body, basically, of Andy.
That's wild, bro.
And then there's like literally to compare that to Soul, and there's like a scene where it's like he's walking down a New York street, which is obviously crowded, and it's like 100 people, each individually animated. It's just like nuts to see how far animation has come, and Pixar has always led the way.
Yeah,
but
when they're in the barbershop, that like kind of blew my mind. Like the way they like transform just these hairs on his head to make it look like clean. That's so that was crazy.
There's a part where the lady's playing trumpet or saxophone, whatever instrument it is. And it just like looks so real. Like literally the trumpet, if it was just that, I would think it was a real one.
Dang.
And to think that it's all animated. So long story short, very visually appealing. Good movie overall. Great message.
Nice. What would you rate that one?
I'd give it an 8.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8.
Damn.
8, 9-ish.
I feel like it ended somewhat abruptly for me. That's my only complaint. Like I feel like I wanted to see a little bit more at the end, and it just kind of ended. But other than that, I liked it a lot.
Boom. Well, next on my watch list.
Tonight. Right now. Get off of here. Go watch it right now. I definitely feel like I have to watch it a second time, read other people's opinions, and like kind of get those things that I miss, and then watch it again. And like, I do enjoy that. I do enjoy watching a movie for myself one time, read what other people like, what they picked up on, and then going back and kind of seeing what I missed and like making those little connections. You're like, oh my God, that's right. He did have this blah, 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 blah. And then like you look in the background and it's like, you know, a little poster of the next Incredibles movie or something. And, like, you know, like,
Bro, you got to watch like the therapist reacts to Soul videos on YouTube.
I mean, honestly, like some of these things, I mean, you say they take years and years and years to make, like they probably go like really in depth of like these, you know, the way people think, and they probably study these things to get them exactly right because, I mean, they want to be correct about it, you know, they want to be pretty accurate.
We're watching this show on Hulu called The Good Doctor right now. I don't know if either of y'all have seen it, but it's actually an incredible show. It's really, really good, well made. But it's kind of the same thing where obviously they're going into all it's about surgeons and all this stuff without giving anything away. But they go into so much detail on these medical processes they're going to be going through. And it is just like, it's so wild. It's like, okay, they're being so incredibly specific. I'm sure that they know that no one can prove that what they're doing is wrong. You know what I mean? Like they're openly saying, oh, so you mean the brachiolardius is going to have to connect to that? You got the things like you're saying that so kind of in a badass way where, you know, like, okay, someone can't be like, doctor reacts to fucking surgeon on the show. It's like, yeah, I can't do it.
That's how I felt about Suits, bro. I felt like after I watched Suits, I was on... Definitely, I was about 50% of the way to being like a badass lawyer. Like, no lie.
For sure.
I understood the terminology, understood how to carry myself.
Yeah.
What outfits to wear. Like,
bro,
what to drink.
Okay, so it's funny you mentioned Suits because on Suits, the guy on there, I forget his name, but he has the other guy, the main character. Yeah, Mike. He has a photographic memory.
Yep.
And the Good Doctor, the main character, is autistic, and he also has savant syndrome. Like he has a photographic memory. And so, do you ever like find yourself after watching those shows like trying to
I know, I'm gonna,
to have a photographic memory, bro? Like I'll like look at a paper and look away and be like, shit. Like,
nope.
Like I was like, I forgot it already. Damn it. Like just try to look at something and try to memorize everything that's on it, but then you just can't.
I think I have always known that my memory is shit. So I was just envious.
I remember the weirdest, randomest things ever. Like if my life was a story, like a movie, it'd be such random memories just popping up every now and then. And then at the end of the movie, you'd be like, oh, maybe one of those memories is going to be like the answer to the whole plot of the movie. And nope, it's not. It's just random ass shit.
Bro, you're like Poseidon. Like it's just a disappointment of a movie. It's just like you never get the full answer.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, having a photographic memory would be really nice.
That'd be dope. I do know what a pulmonary embolism is now, though. So that's
all I'm saying.
cool.
Like you're about 55% on your way to be a.
Bro, hey, I'll cut you open right now.
PhD.
Let's go. Bro, I'll put your shit on the table.
You're ready to save lives out here, boy.
I'll take out your kidney yesterday. Let's go.
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like honestly, Harvey Specter is like an older version of me.
Oh, okay.
If you don't know who that is, one of the best lawyers in New York City.
You don't deserve to be listening to us.
One of the best lawyers in New York.
Bro, what's funny is like I wonder if that actor even makes as much as the lawyer that he's playing makes.
Probably not.
He's making $100,000 an episode. That lawyer's making $10 million a year.
Nah, that show got pretty popular, so he's
Nah,
probably
it did.
making a pretty penny.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I need a show. I just got done with like a big test that I had to take, and now I have all this time. And we started Weeds today, and I just wasn't feeling it. I need a show that I could watch. And need some recommendations.
You know what you might be ready for?
Tell me.
Game of Thrones, buddy.
First 6 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Oh wow, yeah, I could.
I'm
do
gonna
that.
be honest, bro. That's like one of the most iconic shows of all time, and
It's ridiculous.
they're continuing it, or they're not continuing. They're gonna start. It's a prequel, I believe.
Prequel, yeah.
House of Dragons, but they're literally filming that right now, and I know it's gonna be like, it's gonna be crazy when it comes
It's
out.
gotta be.
So I feel like I don't know
That'd
if you're
be a
ready
good
for
time.
that. I don't know if you're ready for
That's
that,
it.
but might want to get ready.
All right,
I
I'll
want
watch
to.
Game of Thrones, man.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Hey, yeah.
I'll see y'all in 6 months. It's gonna take me 6 months to watch all of
Bro,
them.
we watched that whole shit in like 2 months with Arthur.
And that was my second time.
Bro, well, because there's only like 6 to 10 episodes per season, but they're like an hour 15 long. But sometimes we watch like 2 or 3 a night. They'd be like, bro, I gotta get up at 4. I'm half asleep,
Yo,
or
Phil-
just all
Phil,
asleep.
I guarantee you, Phil missed half of the series, bro.
No, low key. I'm just.
I would look at him. I would look at him, and he would just be like this.
Oh, you're being so stupid though. Nah, bro, you were asleep. That's why you're thinking.
And
that
then
way.
I would be
bro.
like,
Why
"Yo,
your
Phil,
eyes
wake up." He's like,
closed?
"I'm not even asleep."
I'm just asleep.
Eyes still
Always
closed
angry.
and
Not
shit.
asleep, dumbass.
Bro, I'm not even asleep, man. I just saw what happened.
Yeah, but fuck you, man. You wake up.
Oh man, good times. No, that's
Good
that's a
time.
great show, man. To be honest,
For sure.
if you got to be okay with violence, and you got to be okay with some pretty crazy sex scenes.
Right up my alley, bro.
But other than that, you're just watching good quality TV, baby.
He's like, that's my everyday.
That's like, is there dragons at least?
Yeah.
There's a couple
And
dragons.
dungeons.
A couple dragons get it on for sure.
Get it.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, season 3, they be reproducing and shit. They be laying some eggs.
Yeah, they'd be getting crazy down there. But anyways,
This is bringing back the population.
yo, unless you guys have any final thoughts, and by final I mean final.
Yo, I was gonna say, what if we finish with an icebreaker, Arthur?
Oh shit, man! Except I don't have one ready.
Well, let's.
Well, we don't have one.
Well, shit, let's find one, Arthur.
It's a great idea if you got any ideas.
Should have thought about that last weekend.
I'll finish this off with my favorite. You know, you should have bought some Bitcoin 2 months ago. Goddamn it!
Jeez.
Oh, that's
Yo,
just at like 25K, bro.
It got up to
Yeah.
27. I got 0.
You lost.
I got ETFs.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay. I'm going long term. That's just
All
going
right.
to crash.
Well, okay. I feel like we're so creative and we're extremely professional podcasters at this point that we can come up with an icebreaker
I
on the
got
spot right now.
Let me know if you like this one, guys.
Let's
if
go.
your significant other could have a superpower, and if you don't have a significant other, just make one up. If your significant other would have a superpower, what superpower would you want them to have? Not what
Okay.
would
Oh,
they
okay.
have? What
So it
would
doesn't
you
matter what
want
they're
them to
actually like.
have?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This could get dangerous. What would you approve about
Exactly.
How X-rated we get in here?
Oh
Yo.
shit!
I'm kidding.
Yo,
Um,
I'm talking some like endurance. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! Cut!
Yo, cut that out.
That's exactly what would happen in our early episodes when I had to cut all that shit out.
Yo, we unfiltered now.
And nowadays we're just unedited.
Yo,
So
maybe some stamina.
no.
No.
God.
I'm kidding.
Here
We got no issues.
Let's cut Phil off. Nah, Phil.
Bro, my screen just goes black.
It's his first drink in 2 months, guys.
There's a-
Give him a
Philip
break.
has left the chat.
There's a button somewhere here to kick you out. Nah.
All right, someone else answer. Nah.
So my first thought goes to food. Like if
Postmates.
if my significant other is just like maybe the best chef in the world
Ooh.
and enjoys cooking to the point where she be cooking like every meal every day. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no complaints on this side, Playboy.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that's a safe one.
Yeah. Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
I feel like superpower could be that she's super emotionally empowered, and also, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe like president. Like that would be.
I feel like none of these are superpowers. They're just like talents and good,
So just to be a better cook.
good qualities.
Like honestly, if she could improve. Oh God, that's bad.
So yeah, what did you say? Emotional intelligence or some shit?
That'd be cool.
Yo, let's be honest. There's about 3 people in Russia who are listening this far in.
Bro,
so
they are on the edge of their seat though, so we're gonna give the boys what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Putin, if you're listening, if they could have a superpower, maybe it's like every room that we walk in together, like they can like I don't know, like demand something. You know, Sean lost audio.
Yeah, John, we lost John. God, dude, this literally feels like one of our early episodes.
This is full circle in every way.
We're going out with a shit show, is what we're doing here.
John, you there?
I feel like Zoom might be having issues.
Probably.
There we go.
There
Back.
she
I'm
is.
back. I'm back.
We're back.
Back and I'm better.
All right. What did you guys say?
Phil has no clue what he's saying, so let's start there.
Okay, so their superpower is that every like room that you walk into with them, like people have to say yes to what you ask them.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
That's a pretty
So
good.
like on your own, you walk in and yeah, maybe you're talented at some stuff, but when they're with you,
Yeah.
again, the power of having the spouse with you. When they're with you, they demand the fucking respect of whoever you're with.
Ooh, so you're like defining power couple.
Like
right there.
like limitless, man. Like business deals left and right. They say yes, even if they're bad ideas.
Nobody can say no to them.
Nobody can say no to them.
Wow.
That's pretty good. And I said that while still respecting them. Not saying, if they could just stay in the kitchen and do better, then
Yeah, that's like, yo. In hindsight, I'm like, oh shit. Yo,
Oh shit.
bro, you got a
You're still in the
cookbook.
kitchen.
Yo, but I'll
cookbook, bro.
I'll be
You're
doing the
good.
dishes though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be doing the dishes and I'll be cleaning. So,
Yeah, I feel you.
There's a
I would
balance.
I mean she's probably already has this power and she just kind of like keeps it low key.
John's like
she
she's
doesn't want
already a
you to know.
superhero.
She's already a superhero. My love is a superhero
She's-
already, guys.
Yeah.
Who
Oh my
asked
God.
this question? God damn it.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, all like if she knew what people were thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like if we walked into a room and we knew somebody was lying,
Yo, but
but I didn't know, but she knew.
she would know what you're thinking.
That's okay because I'm also always
You're pure.
truthful as well.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
pure.
okay.
I'm a
Never
pure
told a
soul.
lie.
Yeah, we're
So,
100.
you know,
we're 100 here.
I didn't really think about that because I am a pure soul, so
Oh yeah, it didn't even cross your mind. I like it.
didn't cross my mind. But if she knew every time we walked into the room that what someone was thinking, like if we were going to go into a business deal, I'm taking her with me because I know this guy's going to try to lowball me. I know what his price is. If we're going into a drug deal, boom, I know what he's
Because
trying
that
to
does
do.
happen.
He's gonna,
Yep.
Because that's happened 3 times already. Like I've needed that 3 times already, and that's why that thing pops into my mind, just all knowing.
100%.
What do you do when, with that, you and Laura walk into a business deal with me and Elizabeth?
Shit.
And you know what we're thinking, which means you know that whatever we say, you have to say yes to. What do you do?
This is what happens when a immovable
My brain's
objects meets
We just all die. We
an
explode.
unstoppable force.
Yo, Newton's first law of gravity. Everyone dies.
Everyone dies.
everyone
We're all
dies.
gonna be in the ground eventually.
Well, if I would have been in that situation, I would have been like, God damn it! I wish she was just good in the kitchen.
Yo, I kept it simple, bro. I'm just be eating good over here.
He's
Y'all-
like, I want a good omelet. Like, I'm not trying to be
I'm
too.
saying. Just want a good breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's all.
also, I thought of like seeing through things. Like if she were to be able to see through things, that'd be pretty cool too.
That'd be pretty dope. You just have to trust everything that she says she sees through, though.
So basically, whatever benefits us the most. Right?
Yo, but no. Like in my situation, it benefits both of us. Like we're the power couple.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's cooking good for herself too. So
Yeah, honestly. What, are you going to not let her eat her meals? What are you saying?
no, it's only for me. Did I
You're
not
like,
clarify?
honestly,
I
if
didn't
she's
clarify.
cooking, I'm the only one eating. That would
Both
suck
we're
for
power
her.
couples.
No, I meant she's only cooking for me. Like I don't know if I said that.
Jeez, man.
Jeez.
And then if she cooks for herself, it just sucks. It's just horrible.
When she's not cooking for me, she's about as good as cooking
Yeah.
as I am. So
Her superpower is
Which is
cooking for me.
which is horrible.
Negative.
Jeez, that's rough.
Man, I'm kidding.
I'm good with y'all. I'm good with you guys' answers.
Yeah, that's nice. Good time.
Wow, what a question. Who thought of that?
I'm
Who
happy
thought
with
of
that.
that? Oh, me.
You did.
You did.
This
Professional
guy.
podcasting.
I'm
101.
pointing to you over here, but honestly, I don't think anyone will know where you are. Either way.
I like it. I like it. I like
take
it.
Hey. Anyways, boys, it's nearing that hour. I'll tell you that much, Bobby.
Damn.
I think it's time for us to wrap up one final time.
Wow.
Well, not
I'm not
final.
crying.
Well, we don't know if it's the final
Wow.
time
To be honest,
for now.
look, if we blow up,
As soon as one of us gets famous, I'll hop back on the mic.
I'm bringing us back.
We just
ASAP.
we just
Yo.
need one of us to carry the rest.
If John gets engineer of the year or some shit,
Look.
like let's hop back on the mic. Like, let's go.
As soon as people are
We're all becoming engineers.
Shit.
as soon as people are fucking interested in what we gotta say, we'll be back on the mic, baby.
Yo, all we need is just like a few letters before our name. We just need some credentials. Like,
Nah, 100%. So I'll never say final, except the episode will be titled the final episode. But that's
yeah,
just for dramatic
clickbait.
effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Clickbait.
The
but-
ad revenue.
There's 100% a chance that we might be back. Okay.
100%.
In the meantime, I suggest you follow our other content. Like Phil said earlier, everything's gonna be under one hub, one umbrella of 1718 Media. So that's a great place to start. Hopefully, if this video project that's dropping on New Year's Eve, hold on, I got a bomb for that.
There she is.
Dropping on New Year's Eve goes according to plan. There's gonna be a whole lot more in the
Yo,
works,
the plan is mega viral, bro.
which means more content, more I don't know.
Everything.
Yes. More social media posts. So I
More
think that's the
life.
place to follow us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We'll be posting
100%.
anything we create will be there. So that's where you should be focusing on. Also, Tilcast YouTube channel because we're not done yet. All right. So don't be too sad. I'm not sad. Are y'all sad?
Not sad.
Me either.
No, I'm not sad.
I'm not.
Okay.
Anyways, we appreciate everyone who has listened this far. I mean, it's been fun,
Yeah.
and it's been. I mean, I'm grateful for the journey, the
100%.
podcasting journey, and I feel like it's just the beginning. So
Yeah. I
appreciate
agree.
everyone. Appreciate everyone who tuned in.
Feel free to continue to pay into our Patreon.
Yo, our Patreon ain't going anywhere.
Yo,
Even-
we must have a Patreon somewhere with thousands of dollars in it because we just have never
The
checked.
thing is, I did create a Patreon like when I thought we were actually going to use it. So there's a chance that people were misled to it. So I do need to log in.
Because I tell them to go pay into it every single week.
Yeah, and it's never.
Bro,
really...
we might be successful. We just don't even know it. Bro, we might have made it. We just don't even know.
There's just like $5,000 in our Patreon.
Bro, I'll update this mic immediately.
In that case, we'll see you next week, baby.
We're back.
We're back. What is up, you guys?
What is up, you guys? We're back for another episode.
Yo, imagine.
Oh man. Anyways,
good times.
Let's wrap this baby up. We appreciate everyone listening, and we'll be back soon with some other content. So follow us on the platforms. And I don't really know how to finish this one off. This is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
We really don't need your rating anymore. We don't need you.
we don't need you.
You don't need to worry about any of the links in the description.
Goodbye. Thanks for nothing, guys.
Thanks for never listening to me because. I'm kidding, bro. Anyways, I'm just gonna drop some bombs and we'll finish it off, baby.
With that being said,
we out.
Filthy.
Fuego.
30.
I'm thoroughly drunk right now. Thoroughly.